welcome back to the Masknificent Vlogcast. Going to jump right into today's topic, and I've done videos on this particular topic before. Some of you know that I do work in the relationship coaching and counseling, in that field. And so I've seen some of everything. And so I definitely want to talk today about not dating individuals based on their potential. A lot of times people make mistakes in dating people for what potentially could be a good, situation. Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, you're only going to find that out by actually getting in the relationship and actually starting something, to know. And yes, relationships do have potential, and you do need to be developing and see potentially where it could go. But there are also some red flags, some things you need to pay attention to that are things that off the top, you should know I shouldn't be engaging in this, and I shouldn't think I can fix someone and date them based on their potential. All right? You don't want to do that. You don't want to get started in a relationship. There are some things that need to be there, like core values, things that are, I don't want to say on your list, so to speak, but you should have a list of some qualities of things that are non-negotiable as when it relates to relationships. All right? Because if you start slipping in those areas, trust me, it's going to be a long, hard road. And yes, potentially, could you turn somebody around or so? Yes. But, a lot of times, 9 times out of 10, those relationships don't work out. And then it's a struggle, to get people to a place. And you shouldn't be in you should be at a point in your life where people are not leveling up on your own time. All right. And you should not be that person either. Meaning you should come to the table already prepared for certain things and not expecting people to wait for you to get to a certain point. No, you need to already come prepared with that, especially if you have certain types of expectations. Now, I know this particular topic can rub some people the wrong way, but listen here. To save yourself heartache and to save yourself from going through a lot of, wasting time, so to speak, of trying to get somebody to be, something that they already aren't. You just don't want to enter a relationship like that. And a lot of times people think that it's mostly, women who do that in terms of trying to wait for a man to come to a certain level. Believe it or not, and I've seen it, I've coached individuals, a lot of men too, who will date women for the potential of what they could be, and them wanting to be a hero in the woman's life a certain way and be the person that I helped to turn her around, I helped to change her. And then some of them get used and abused too. And so again, it's people that are looking for something to fulfill themselves with and thinking that a relationship will help them feel like they've contributed to changing somebody's life and how they can build somebody up. Again, does this happen? There are countless testimonies, and I've seen it, where definitely that can happen. But a lot of times it's a hard struggle in that relationship to get it to that point. And so nobody is perfect, all right? And everybody's going to have something. So I'm not saying that, you look and do a checklist. Oh, he or she has this type of flaw, and I just, can't deal with that. Don't be petty, all right? My main focus here is about you have to know the right potential to engage in when it comes to building a relationship with someone, all right? And even going down that road, there are some testers you need to do, 30 to 90 days. There are some things that need to be displayed. Character within people is something that's already pre-built before they come to you. So you'll know what's playing out. Now, it doesn't mean that people can't develop better character by being in experience with you. But again, you don't necessarily want someone who is going to be on your time leveling up when there are already individuals out there who already have that package, all right? We get so limited in thinking that, no, I like all these qualities. It's just that one quality that the person doesn't have, and I'm going to work with it. Yeah, but see, it depends on what that thing is. Now, you can't be like, oh, yes, well, he's got a good job, and he treats me well, but, he's kind of a chain smoker, and has friends that do, I'm sorry. Don't over fantasize things. You have to be able to use discernment. And you have to not date people. Well, potentially, he may not be that bad. He may not be that bad. And if anybody remembers Waiting to Exhale, I'm going to date myself here. But you remember the movie Waiting to Exhale. And Robin was someone who was dating people for potential. And we see that that wasn't working out for her. She was not dating, first of all, for the right reasons. And then trying to see potentially, and it didn't matter whether the man was well off, whether he was, kind of a bum or whatever. She looked for, okay, this person had these qualities that I liked. But she didn't really focus on values. And that's because she did not have certain values established for herself, right? So she was always dating for potential. And again, dating to see potentially where this can go is a different thing versus dating someone with the potential that, they may become this X, Y, and Z. What are the characteristics that's already demonstrating that? All right. So you're either going to choose somebody who's on their way to it or somebody who's already there with it. All right. But again, there's nothing wrong. And hear me when I say this. There's nothing wrong with dating someone who's on their way to something. But you do have to weigh, if you want to call it, the cost in a sense. But what is this going to cost me as I am waiting? Am I going to be depleted in some way if I'm waiting? And again, what is it? Now, waiting to achieve goals and things, that's very different. That's different. We're always on our way to something. Even when we've achieved things that, we're doing well off, so to speak. We're always, leveling up. But you do have to look at what are the potentials. Yeah, I know this is a subject that can rub people the wrong way. But these are areas you have to look at. You have to examine. Well, he's a drug dealer now, but, he may not be. And if he get around me, I can change that about him. No, you don't know. And the same thing with a man. Well, she's this way now. She may be, with 5 other guys, but I can make, I can be the one and turn that thing around. You could. I'm not saying, it's cases that happens. But is it worth it to do that, starting out? Or could you just be friend? Can you be a friend with someone and have relationships with them in that, regard, that fashion, and then see how they are before you just jump into a relationship or trying to establish that based on potential? Well, they might be. That could happen. Well, there's a lot of things. Just like you can find someone who actually has all the qualities that that are aligned for you. In that relationship, maybe it doesn't work out, right? But here's the deal. You do have to, weigh the cost, risk factors, so to speak. But regardless of who you choose to get with, you are going to have to pay attention to, different signs anyway. But the best way to align with someone that's going to be most ideal for you is that you have to know who you are. And you have to have your values, anchored. And also you do have to have your non-negotiables. I'm not apologizing for it. It is the truth. You have to have your because when you start sacrificing and compromising your alignment based on, this could go somewhere. Yeah. Well, but where is this going? It may not be good. And then again, it could be. But here's the deal. You don't want to set yourself up to be like in anomaly types of situations. Because I know people, they'll argue down with this thing. And they'll be like, well, there's been, my auntie and uncle, they did this and they, they stuff worked out. And that's how my parents met. We're in different day and age. We are. And relationship building is, the fundamentals will always be the same. But there are some things that are different at this stage in the game. You have to pay attention. It's a different breed of people. Even if you look out in terms of just over the years, even people we think are kind of bipolar and crazy, there's different levels of that. That stuff has evolved. Craziness has evolved. So in relationships with people with different character problems or different things, that stuff comes at an all-time high during these times in history. So you do have to be mindful. So don't just be out here just, oh, I'm going to date potentially to see if this could go somewhere. Again, it just depends on what it is. Just don't put yourself in a position where you are over fantasizing and then you're seeing things that aren't really there because you want to see them. When people really want to date with someone or they want to get with someone, they will overlook the big elephants in the room because they want to go down that route, that road. And as they say, with grown people going to do what grown people, they're going to do what they want to do. All right. And it is, the choice, black sheep. The choice is yours. I'm dating myself here. But you can get with this or you can get with that. But just be mindful of what you get with and do your due diligence, all right, to not just date for potential or date for the right potential, I should say. So that's what I have for you on this, topic today. Be sure to check the description, especially if you want to get the Majesty merch, if you want to get her Majesty Mask or his Majesty Mask and mugs and, other accessories, then make sure that you check the description. Also check the description for the playlist of other vlogcasts, from this particular segment. All right. So that's what I have for you today. As always, wishing you the best. Looking forward to being back with you soon. Take care and stay blessed.